I noticed you called that zombie a kike back there. Are you anti-Semitic? Don't you remember the Holocaust?
Coach, let me tell you something. For many people, Jews can be a bit of a disgruntling topic. They're never talked about except as sinless people that we are not allowed to criticize in Western societies, and to meet someone who is openly anti-Semitic like me can be quite overwhelming. Now, some of it is counterculture, as a bit of an in-joke, but a lot of it is real, and part of that is the Holocaust. Now, it wouldn't be such a big issue if it wasn't a major underpinning justification for so much of what I, and many others, detest in modern society. Of course, being such a substantial pillar, the average normie is more than happy to attack it, although many people express skepticism at mine and many others' claims, such as the Einsatzgruppen's main purpose being anti-partisan warfare. While I won't try to get into the specifics of each, or argue about the validity of evidence, there are major holes in the official story that should cast doubt in the mind of even the firmest believer. To this end, there are 7 questions that should be asked. 1. Why would the Nazis even kill Jews? If they had them in concentration labor camps, why kill them instead of putting them to work doing useful labor? In the middle of a total war, labor is a precious resource, and yet the Nazis are supposed to have been stupid or hateful enough to kill millions of potential laborers while being smart enough to manage the whole operation and keep it secret. This doesn't seem to add up. 2. If they did kill millions in an organized genocide, why use such inefficient methods? For a people so renowned for their efficiency, the Germans do not seem to possess this quality when it comes to the Holocaust. Gas chambers, gas cars, ovens, even electrical racks or masturbation machines, according to some eyewitnesses. All of these are extremely inefficient and wasteful. Some are downright goofy. With millions of rounds of ammunition being produced monthly, and weapons certainly not being scarce, why would the Nazis not just use a cheap bullet to kill millions? They would have the necessary materials in less than a month, rather than the countless resources needed to produce deadly gases, or burn people alive, or electrocute them. Would the Nazis really have chosen such inefficient methods of extermination during a war decided by resources, knowing that by choosing these more gruesome and inefficient methods, they were condemning millions of their own countrymen to death, knowing that choosing to do so would likely lead to the defeat of their country and the subjugation of their people? 3. Why are so-called eyewitness accounts given such weight and believed to be so trustworthy? In modern criminal courts, we do not lend such power to eyewitnesses, especially if there is a conflict of interests and they are also victims. And yet, when it comes to the Holocaust, all we seem to need as evidence are the claims of the self-reported victims without evidence or substantiation. This is a serious lapse in historical and public integrity, and yet it is never talked about. What is worse is some of the outright lies and fabrications of these eyewitnesses that have proven to be so, such as the soap and lampshades myth that was proven to be false and quietly dropped. If it is possible for these eyewitnesses to lie about them, is it not possible for them to lie about other events? Furthermore, why is there no weight given to the effects of trauma and group psychology, such as would be considered when examining the testimonies of eyewitnesses in criminal cases? Eyewitness testimonies are rarely fully accurate, and oftentimes will wildly differ from each other, exaggerating some facts, downplaying or outright omitting others, and sometimes even creating details entirely. Yet, for all of this, there is no consideration, and we take claims of Nazi masturbation machines at face value. 4. Why are the only purported death camps investigated by Soviets? Of all the camps investigated, it was only the ones specifically investigated by the Soviets in zones which the Allies were forbidden to enter that were claimed to be death camps. By choosing to believe this claim, we are in effect putting faith in Soviet claims of German atrocities. Given that the Soviets blamed many of their own against the Germans, fabricated other claims, and instigated countless more atrocities than could be ever attributed to the Nazis, are their claims really so valid? 5. Why is it that it is only Jewish Holocaust victims that are talked about? Even according to the official narratives, Jews were only a fraction of the total number of victims claimed by the Holocaust, and yet they are focused on almost exclusively. Where are the tears shed for the millions of Poles killed, the hundreds of thousands of Russians and other Slavs? Where are the tears and Holocaust museums and novels and commemorations for these victims? If the Holocaust is truly such a horrifying and shocking event that must live on in our memories, lest it be repeated, why are many of its victims forgotten? Why are they shoved by the wayside, pressed into the footnotes of history? Are they not also worth our tears? Do they not deserve reparations just as the Jewish victims received? Why is it we never see any mention of this? 6. Why is the Holocaust so important anyway? In terms of the total death toll, it is not the largest. In terms of brutality, it is not the worst. In terms of the amount of the targeted ethnic group eliminated, it is not the most successful. It is not the most recent genocide. It was not the first genocide. All of this is true, and yet the Holocaust is treated as a unique horror and taught and repeated in perpetuity. Why? What makes the Holocaust so uniquely horrifying, so uniquely evil? Was it simply that the targeted ethnic group was Jews? Are other ethnic groups not worth our tears? Why is there barely any mention of such horrifying events as the Rwandan genocide? Why are there no mentions of such atrocities as the Armenian genocide by the Turks, or the millions of whites killed by the Soviets during the Holodomor, or the countless others killed in various other Asian states throughout the past 100 or more years? Where is the course in schools about these events? Why are they not apparently worth the media's attention? And lastly, 7. If the Holocaust is so undeniably true, so thoroughly established, why is it illegal in many countries to question it at all? Why is the supposed truth in fear of criticism? Do we ban discussion and argument over whether the earth is in fact round? Should it be illegal to question whether the Roman Empire ever existed?
Damn, Nick, you really opened my eyes. Let's go kill some kike-ass zombie motherfuckers.